What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're talking about what stuff you should do at a certain point in your progression in this game. I'd say, as someone who plays this game a decent bit, I can kind of give advice on what things you should and shouldn't focus on going through certain progressions. So I split it up into three progressions. We got the beginners, we got the intermediates, and we got the experts, right? And I'm not going to talk about the elitist 1%, but expert is kind of that end game area where most people hang out. So starting with beginners, working our way up to the experts. Beginners, first of all, don't waste your units on opening crystals, right? I know it's tempting, I know it's interesting, and I know you want to gamble away your units, but please don't. It's not worth it. The odds are always against you. So just want to get that out the way. For beginners, right? We're gonna go and say this is acts 1 through 4. For the beginners just starting the game, going through your story progressions, not focusing on anything else but acts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 100% completing those, right? That is your main goal. Now, besides that, rank up your champions, farm the daily quests. If you need rank up resources, the daily quests work for your 3 and 4 stars. You can farm most of the catalysts in here and the class catalysts in here, and then you should be good, right? Acts 1 through 4, and then start dabbling into the side quest as well. Tiers 1 and 2 in the side quest over here. This rotates every month, so now it's the Phoenix Force side quest, but this might be Null's blah blah blah, or Rocket Raccoon Scrapyard for the ones who remember. So one of my favorite events all time, by the way. Or Gwenpool's event, really cool as well. The Poolies event, also really cool from last year. So yeah, side quest, start dabbling in that, and start maybe going into like the first tiers of the event quest, just for the units and the experience, right? That is pretty much all a beginner needs to do. Not waste units, do acts 1 through 4, and not worry about anything else in the game. That is purely beginner stuff. I know you can join alliances, you can do this, do that. I think it's just really good to kind of get that base, not have anything else to worry about. If you're really competitive, by all means do so. Join an alliance, but not have anything to worry about. Besides that, just getting to know some characters, getting to know the champions that you like, you don't like, and working your way around the game. So that is the beginner tier. Now, moving up into that intermediate section, you're going to have a couple different things. I'm going to say this is acts 5 through 7, right? And there's one in the middle, act 6 in particular, that is a huge breaking point. A pain in the ass to most players, right? And especially the newer players who have never played this game. I keep on clicking the wrong thing here, but book 1, acts 5 through 7, if it loads, but act 6 is the painful thing here, and act 5 is okay. If you beat the collector in 5.2.6 over here, the abrogation quest, then you'll unlock Battlegrounds. I think this is the point in the game where you start doing Battlegrounds. Acts 5 through 7, you start doing the side quests consistently, and you can join an alliance, get your glory, get loyalty from Alliance War, and that should help out, right? Act 5 should be fine. There's a couple annoying bosses, look up a guide on those bosses, and you'll be good. Now Act 6 requires a bit more in-depth gameplay, mechanics and stuff like that. There's nodes that can counter your champions pretty hard, and there's no real way to kind of brute force your way through a couple of those fights. So there's a couple points in here. I'm gonna mention a few. The Birthright Sentinel, kind of annoying. In 6.1.1 with that Sabertooth boss, the node is no retreat, really annoying node as well. 6.2, the Mordo, the champion, and 6.2.2, that's Mr. Sinister, actually is really annoying as well. Those are some points that could piss people off. Then in here, 6.3.1 Medusa only takes bleed damage. She could be a pain. And 6.3.6, that Captain America can be a pain to some players as well. I'm just telling you, like, guide-worthy bosses that you might want to look a video up on. So then you have the final two over here as well. So the Adaptoid, the Hydra Adaptoid, and then the Grandmaster as the boss in 6.4.6. Those are all worthy of looking up a guide. And this is definitely your intermediate, like mid-game, trying to get through the acts type deal. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. You're gonna unlock Battlegrounds. I think it's good to just involve yourself in Battlegrounds. Doesn't matter how far you push, just to get some of those resources flowing. And in the Battlegrounds store, if you beat 6.1.6, you will probably have the Cavalier title. And then in the Battlegrounds store, you'll start unlocking your 6 stars. So 6-star shards and Cavalier title. So that's already pretty solid. You can buy more 5 stars as well before that if you're not Cavalier yet and you need some 5 stars. So that is all good stuff for those intermediate players. And then after Act 7, you probably 7.4.6 gets you to Paragon if you have the rank 3s as well. Rank 3s is Thronebreaker, never mind. If you have the rank 4s as well, rank 4 6 stars, that is. And you're gonna kind of shift towards endgame. Now endgame gets interesting. That is that third part, the expert part, and endgame gets really interesting because there's a lot going on, right? You're gonna take a look at the acts of Act 9 or Act 8 and Act 9. Hopefully 9.2 releases soon. But yeah, Act 8 gives a bunch of rewards, same as Act 9 does. Both are worth exploring at this point in the game. And I'd say only Act 6 and 7 aren't worth, but all the other acts are. So keep that in mind. But expert, you will do Act 8, do Act 9, and then your focus kind of starts to shift towards other things. Because after doing all the story content, the stuff that is left is probably in the special quest tab. That might be your Epoch of Pain, might be the Necropolis, might be the new Ordeal coming out, or actually probably when you've seen this video, it probably released a couple days ago, I think, or maybe yesterday, depends on when I release this, but yeah, that'll be in game as well. So there's a couple of those quests that your focus starts to shift towards, and a lot of this comes down to farming a lot of potions over here, revives over here, and units to buy more potions and revives, and then having the boosts ready as well. So if we go to inventory and boosts, having a lot of these boosts, having a lot of health boosts like so, and champion boosts, and just overflowing your stash with those resources, the likes of units, revives, and boosts, because that kind of gets that content done. So endgame starts at like Act 8, I'd say, but definitely final endgame is having completed Acts 8 and 9, and then shifting towards like those endgame challenges. And then obviously your unit farming also is needed for the deals. A lot of that new progression, a lot of those new titles, new rank ups, new champions are all locked behind those unit deals and money deals, but unit deals as well, usually a couple times a year. 4th of July is a big one, Cyber Weekend is a big one, and the Banquet is a big one as well. Sometimes there's like a spring cleaning, we had some Valentine's offers, but those are all kind of worse than those 4th of July Cyber Weekend deals. So you probably want to save up units, probably want to save up revives for the end game content and for those offers, and that'll probably get you your next progression as an end game player after doing Act 8, 9, and the content in the special tab. So keep that in mind. That is pretty much going from beginner to intermediate and expert, and how you should spend your time. One more time quick, because I have some bullet points. Beginners, focus on those rank up resources, and Acts 1 through 4, explore all of them, find out what champions you like and you don't like, and just max that out. You should be fine. And then going into intermediate, you start doing Battlegrounds, Acts 5 to 7, side questing, just on and off. I'd say just definitely more active than you would in the beginner tab, and then including more alliance stuff if you're competitive, if you want that glory, if you want that loyalty resource as well, then including alliance stuff once you get to like Acts 5-ish would be fine. And then expert, get more competitive in Alliance content if you want to, if you have the time to do so, and doing like Acts 8, 9, and that special quest tab, finishing those Epoch of Pains, Necropolis, stuff like that. So that is pretty much your list, going through from beginner to intermediate to expert. Maybe this is useful to you. I hope it is. If you don't think this was and I should add anything, let me know down below. If you aren't in the Discord yet, Discord link is in the description. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like on the video, it really helps me out. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care and peace.